Ron McGill right now is looking suave. He
Really
is. Yes, he is. He is silver fox in it right now. He is looking clean. Everything looks like it is well tailored.
Just be careful, Dan, because I've learned when I compliment people on when they're dressed nice that it's usually they're going to a funeral or something, and then it's like because I don't know if an orangutan has died or something that Ron has to go attend or chronicle later. So
Billy,
just be
thank
careful.
You, thank
Dangerous
you, Billy.
game,
It is all excellent advice. We have missed Ron last week. Of course, he was emergency saving the sea turtles, but this is not an indictment of how you usually look, nor. You okay, David?
You don't go to a funeral with two buttons open.
Okay, that's the thing. He's got
In Miami, you do.
No, he's got nightclub written on him. He's got a bit of his 20s on him right here with the shirt open and the chain and I'm guessing cologne. And he frequented a place where drug dealers were doing bad things in the bathrooms in nightclub Miami from his heyday.
Wow.
And
Allegedly.
now you know,
Friends.
The mutiny.
Ron, you're dressed like both a nightclub owner and a Lothario.
Well, to be honest with you, Dan, we were recreating a Rat Pack picture at the Fountain Blue with one of your associates, Billy Corbin, was part of that. Chef Ralph Pagano and Paul Castronovo. We were doing a special show this morning from the Fountain Blue, and they wanted us to recreate the Rat Pack look. So that's why I was asked to dress this way. And I had to come straight from there to here.
Everyone found that story disappointing.
I know. I'm sorry.
Weird,
I don't know
too.
what else. I don't know what else to tell you. But that's what we did. We just were trying to recreate something. I hadn't been in the Fountain Blue in a while, and there's a lot of history behind that hotel, and we were trying to kind of go back in time.
I'd rather you had changed than tell that story.
Wow.
Do you know Ron McGill?
Yes, of course.
Hold
on, let me check.
Ron, how do you feel about David Sampson? By the way, Sampson just mentioned, he said someone's broken ranks around here. He says he's got Mike Scher's number. That someone, there's a rat in our midst.
And it wasn't me. I mean,
it sounded like it was you.
I sent to Mike Lowell's number.
I don't need Mike Lowell's number.
Ron McGill, I've got a number of questions as I do every single week with you, but why couldn't you make it last week? Explain to me what it is that you do with the sea turtles and how important it is what you're doing to save, in Florida, we're very good about trying to protect this one animal.
Yes, there are various species of sea turtles that call South Florida home, and we have a sea turtle hospital here at Zoo Miami. It's one of the few. It's actually the only sea turtle hospital in South Florida that is certified to treat fibropapilloma. It's the type of these tumors that turtles get. Anyway, these two big loggerheads had come in from Naples. They were transported over here. They were suffering from red tide. They had barnacles all over them. They had algae all over them, emaciated, highly anemic. So we treated them here for several weeks. We got them back on their flippers, so to speak. And then we had to go release them. And you always release the turtles close to the same beach where they were rescued. So they were rescued out of Naples. So I had to drive out to Naples with the team out there to document these turtles going back out to the ocean where they belong. So, the Sea Turtle Hospital, we've probably released this year alone about 16 different sea turtles of different species, green sea turtles, leatherbacks, loggerhead sea turtles, hawksbills. So we've treated several species of turtles here. They're all endangered species. And the Sea Turtle Hospital here does a great job in rescuing these turtles and getting them healthy so we can get them back to the wild. That's the objective.
Do they get scared when you take the turtles across Alligator Alley? Like, do they wear blindfolds so they don't know where they are? How do you do that?
No, we wrap their flippers all up in towels and things so they don't hurt themselves during transportation. But they stay pretty chill during the transportation.
This also isn't something normal people should do, right? Like if you see a sea turtle washed up, you should not be trying to aid the sea turtle, correct?
No, you should always call the authorities. Call FWC, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. They will get an officer out there to Do you
answer all the calls that come? Do those calls get answered 100% of the time?
They should. They should. They're the people who connect us and say, listen, we've rescued a turtle. We've got to bring it to the hospital. There's also a Sea Turtle Hospital Marathon. There's one up in Palm Beach. So, but we're the only ones qualified to work here in Miami with the fibropapilloma virus, which causes these big tumors sometimes that obstructs vision and can get into the organs of the animal and kill it.
Ron, just so people understand what you've dedicated your life to here, and we tell them all the time, this is the only charity that we've been involved in for many years because Ron McGill helps the animals one-on-one directly in this manner where it matters that he could say, I saved 16 turtles, even though the amount of...
I didn't save them, but people saved them, and we help support the people who saved them.
Okay.
Yes.
He took pictures. Dan.
Yeah, you took pictures at the Fountain
Okay.
Blue with Billy
I
Corbin
tell
and
the story.
sopped in all your fame. No, I understand. Other people...
Photographer.
This is what happened. Now we can get at the truth.
Here we go.
These other people saved the turtles, and when it's time for your photo op with Billy Corbin, I'll be at the Fountain Blue with my best shirt.
It's not my best shirt, but it's a black shirt. They wanted the all black look. You know what I mean?
I know, but you're the Rat Pack and all of this while the others are saving the turtles, and you're just getting the fame and the magazine covers.
And the money and
That's
the
exactly
electric
right,
cars
Dan.
and-
Just call me in and snap the picture. Just press the shutter. 2 seconds. I'm done. Get all the glory.
What is your best shirt?
Great question.
My best shirt. I have a very nice tuxedo shirt that I had custom made for me. It's made of this material that's just, gosh, it feels like, it's just gorgeous on you, and it just sits really well. And it was custom made for me, and I have a weird, body, so it makes me look better than I am.
I would really like to take inventory of the fact that since he was on with us last time when we said to donate to his substantive endowment, he had a Cadillac and was showing that off. Hold on a minute. Let me finish what's happening here. You bought a more expensive car, and then the next time he shows up, his clothes is better.
Fancy furs.
The jewelry is
terrible.
showing.
I actually had someone, I think it was from Hawaii, a listener, donate $1,000. And they said, is this going to the Cadillac Fund? And I don't know if I felt bad or I laughed at it, but that's exactly what it said.
It went to the shirt fund. I mean,
It seems like Cadillac and shirts and photo shoots. I wanted to ask you again as I read these stories about sharks attacking boats, Ron, because we talked about the orcas, the vengeant orcas. Forgive me. The orca's not a whale. The orca's from the dolphin family, even though it's called a killer whale. Do I have that wrong?
It's in the dolphin family. It's a cetacean. Like all whales are cetaceans, but not all cetaceans are whales.
And it takes apart a rudder in vengeance because it knows how to disable a vehicle. Something in the sea that is above us in the food chain in the sea knows how to take apart our vehicles by attacking them because our boats did something bad to them?
Listen, I don't consider myself a killer whale expert, but I do know how incredibly intelligent these animals are. And I do believe, I know elephants can hold a grudge. They can be vengeful. They can remember bad things that happened to them and then take it out on that person later on in life. And it wouldn't surprise me at all to know that these orcas maybe have had, suffered some boat strikes and taken that as an aggressive maneuver and now retaliating. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
We've talked about this, but the director of Our Planet 2 on Netflix said that his cruise boat had been attacked by sharks. The quote was, the whole boat exploded. Like, how do I explain that?
Well, I think it's, I think when they're talking about boat, they're probably talking these Zodiacs. They're inflatables. So, they bit the Zodiac, and of course, a lot of the air went out of the Zodiac, depending on the structure of that boat. And it's hard to say how to explain it, Dan. That the shark could have misinterpreted that as a huge sea lion going through the ocean and go after it. I can't read the shark's mind. It's obviously a rare behavior. This is not something that's commonly seen. But the bottom line is, when you get into the same territory as these animals that are apex predators and they can, confuse something for food, then you're going to get attacked. And it's not out of the realm of speculation to think they could have confused a big Zodiac as some type of big seal or some type of, big mammal that they're going to feed on.
Let me play for you here some video, Ron, of a fisherman in the Everglades washing his hands off the side of a boat.
I saw that.
For a couple of seconds, and this will horrify Stugotz, who has called 911 on a frog, and has run out of out of the studio.
Those calls were answered.
When a snake was in here with a shark swallows the hand and pulls this person into the water. Look at this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough to watch. But not shocking, Dan. Not shocking. Because first of all, sharks, anyone who's fished in the Everglades, they know this. Sharks have learned to follow boats because they want to take your fish when you catch them. Any fisherman will tell you sometimes they consider sharks their arch enemy because as they're bringing in their big snapper that they just hooked, the shark comes and eats the snapper because these sharks are attracted to the boats. When the fish are fighting the line, that's a distress that sends out vibrations in the water that the sharks pick up. So the sharks are hanging around the boat in the first place. So it's not really smart when you're fishing and you take the fish off the hook. You're lucky enough to get the fish in your boat, and then you put your hands in there. The shark says, well, I missed the fish, but I'm not going to miss it twice. And it gets the hand. Again, it's a mistaken, quote unquote, attack. It's this shark reacting to something. It just had a fish brought in. The guy has to unhook the fish. He's got fish blood all over his hands, so he puts it in the water. Boom! This is not rocket science. So, and I'm not saying the guy was being stupid. He was just not thinking it through. And I can say that as a armchair quarterback right now, because I think a lot of us have probably done that. And hopefully a lot of us won't do that in the future.
But it seems like you are saying it's the fisherman's fault, not the shark's fault. Like the shark is just being a shark.
The shark was being a shark. The shark wasn't going after the fisherman going, it's a human, I'm going to get him. It's not like this vengeful thing going after humans. The shark is hanging around a boat where people are fishing. They're bringing in fish. They're under distress as they're fighting the hook. They're trying to get the fish. Sometimes the sharks get the fish. Sometimes they don't. But when you stick your hands right in the water right afterwards, when you handle the fish, you've got the blood, the smell of the fish on your hands. It's splashing in the water. The shark thinks it's the fish again, man.
Well, that's what's happening.
Dummy.
We had that video also of a guy puts his hand in the water and then loses his pinky, and the shark's just like, that's a delicious sausage. Like that's a fish. I don't think that's a human hand. Why would I think that's a human hand? That's a delicious. The hand smells like fish. It's a sausage fish. It's a look. Imagine if Stugotz stuck one of his sausage fingers in the sea. That would be a delightful treat for a shark.
It's instinctive feeding behavior. It's not malice. Okay, that's the key thing to keep in mind.
And you're a shark apologist.
Oh, then you have this guy. What's he doing? Why is he reaching into the water trying to reach into a shark?
Into a shark's. Well, that's how he lost his pinky.
Okay, well, so there you go, Dan. This is something. Who reaches in there?
Right.
With all due respect, I just saw a video the other day too of your buddy Drew Rosenhaus getting in the water and holding the back of a shark like it's the big thing to do. I don't have anything personal against Drew, but that was just wrong.
Yeah, Dan, your buddy.
My buddy, Drew Rosenhaus? Why the hell? Why did you do that to me?
He's one of these, sports elites, and I thought all you guys were in the same
do to me?
Sports elites?
What is that?
Who else is on that, Ron? Who are the sports elites down
give
here?
Give me the list.
It's in that sports circle. I'm not in the really sports circle like you guys are.
Well, if you're not in the circle, don't accuse him of being my buddy. He's not my buddy.
Okay, well, that's good to hear.
Have you done a South Beach Sessions with him?
No.
He's been on God Bless Football, but Dan Rosenhaus and who else? Sports elites.
Would you go in the water when some football players hook the shark and go and swim behind it and hold its tail like, look at me, look what I'm doing?
They did it in Jackass. Stevie O did it.
Point well taken. Thank you, Dave. Point well taken.
Good to see you, McGill. Thank you. We'll talk to you again next week.
Jim Berry on that list, or what do you think?
Oh, jeez. Have a good week.
Who are the sports elites? Give us the 5 sports elites, according to Ron McGill.
Steve Shapiro.
Hurry up, 20 seconds.
Dan Le Batard, Greg Cody, Pat Riley.
What?
Drew Rosenhaus.
No.
He's giving you all he's got.
Tom Brady, who happens to be staying at the Fountain Blue right now.
Oh, for the love of God, get out of here.
What room? Get him on.
Get out of here. The Look at Me, Louie, still not working. Please fix it. Thank you. Somebody fix it. The latest report, Stugotz, from Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk is that the Jets are being forced to do Hard Knocks. The Jets don't want to do Hard Knocks. Every year they have trouble. You've heard me say before that football is just a military school for millionaires. They do not want you looking in the dark crevices of where the things are, and we want to sneak a peek. Give us a little bit of access, something that looks like access. We'll watch all the shows if it looks like secret access that I'm not used to getting from the dark inner world of Belichick, where he boils bodies in pursuit of profit and championships. We get close to it, we sniff it, nobody wants to do it. The Jets don't want to do it. Please. Let the Jets be the one that has to do it.
There's a 33% chance. There's only 3 teams eligible, and the Jets are one of them.
I hope Florio.
What are the other 2 teams? Do you know?
Yes, but I can't tell you. I'm actually not allowed to. But there's a formula in terms of not having made. It involves a lot of losing.
Really?
And that's why the Jets are eligible.
They're the best at that.
Why are you not allowed?
Because I don't have it off the top of my head.
So you were unprepared for the question. You were checkmated by Stugotz there. You didn't
Which
have a
is
move.
so upsetting to
You're
me.
a real amateur.
That
You don't
Bishop to
understand.
Rook 9, Dano.
Yes,
Crushing
you
me.
don't understand how crushing that should be to David
It's
Sampton.
worse than
This is what's been funny to watch during the breaks as Stugotz is looking at Sampson and is really, as he's watching the video play in the corner of Sampson laughing at the idea of stealing Bob Ross's money, in humble admiration that is not quite genuflecting because Stugotz thinks himself the best of all the scammers.
Thank you.
He is looking at David and saying, congratulations, my friend. You have arrived at a greater point of unlikable fraud, but you don't know how to make it charming the way that I do.
I certainly don't have his giggle. And that's been currency around here.
And my cough. I mean,
Well, you both have
I
a
have
cough.
it now.
You
Yeah,
both,
you do
both
have
have a
that,
cough.
right.
It's
I'm
good.
catching yours,
I am.
yeah.
I am.
You're in trouble,
I am
James.
surrounded by sickness,
Yeah.
and on what used to be a Greg Cody Tuesday, but he's on a cruise with his son.
Oh, boy.
I'm sure Meadowlark's being expensed for that too. They go. How about this? I've gone on cruises with my parents, but everyone thinks that's weird in adulthood. Everyone has told me I'm weird for doing that. What about Chris Cody going with Greg Cody? I think it's nice that they're doing it, but every time I did it for the 50th anniversary of my parents, ESPN got mad at me because I think I did it during the NBA Finals.
yeah, but Chris's parents are paying for him. You're paying for your parents. I mean,
Well,
it's
that's
different.
just
He's taking a free cruise, you know? I mean, who wouldn't take a free cruise? Anyone would take that.
unless you have to work and you can't take vacation
Well.
that particular week.
Right.
Well,
That's
but
not our policy.
no, but on top of that,
It's
though,
unlimited. I mean, have you read the contracts?
Indeed.
Okay. That's why I'm going away again this weekend. We got Boulder shows.
Can't
Here
miss
we go.
Boulder.
We're making some changes, too.
We are?
There's some changes brewing around here.
Who's making them?
Well, I'm doing it by proxy, and it's going to involve vacation time because I don't like it. It actually throws me off not knowing who's coming, when, where. I get a list of who's going to be here, then they're not here. And they're gonna
Charlotte
be
was
here.
supposed to be here today, and flights became a problem. And
Charlotte's not the problem.
No, I'm just saying in general, we never know who's going to be here any more than the audience knows who's going to be here every day because who can get here, and it's harder to get to Miami, and travel problems and systems are breaking, and the airports are a nightmare.
You have to take that into account. I left as early as I could Sunday in order to make sure I was here Monday. It was a terrible day of travel. It took forever,
Right.
but I was ready to post Monday morning. Mm-hmm. And I love Charlotte. So this is not about Charlotte. Amin did the same thing. Amin last time came in here in the middle of one of our segments.
Yeah.
In the middle. Because, I missed my plane. I couldn't get to it. I've had it. It's enough. We're
here.
sitting here crushing, but you're here getting ready for the next vacation.
Well, of course I am. Why not?
Like it's like what
Unlimited.
we're here like in between your vacations.
He's a new kind of Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited.
It's one of my stops on the tour. Right here.
This is the Stugotz Unlimited Dead Tour. The only limit when he's dead. Because he shouldn't be doing this at this rate at his age.
But I'm looking good today, Dano.
He needs epidurals. He needs epidurals for how much he's mailing it in.
You know, part of the problem with this, and we're joking about it, is like for the people that follow the rules, we're going to be the ones that get screwed. Because like now I'm like, well, why am I even working today? Let me just take vacation.
Guess who else is thinking that?
Who?
That was actually real.
That was amazing.
No, it wasn't acting though. That's the problem.
Not at all.
That was real.
That is hurt from the depths of my soul.
Yes, it is.
How is everybody but me on vacation?
I'm about to take my seconds.
I would like to alert everyone who can hear me now that he's not acting. This is something that I want to help you with, Dan. I want to help you take some time off. Except it's hard for you to because it's possible that we'd come to do a live show and there'd be no one here.
It would have been Tony if I hadn't shown up one day last week. It would have been 4 hours of just Tony talking.
I'm here
was
for you,
here.
Dano.
I was here.
Nobody wants that.
I know. Well, you make that
I don't know.
The MMA hangout would beg to differ.
That's not fair. I mean,
4 hours of just Tony talking. Nobody.
I
wants
have a
that
lot
of
of things to say,
anybody.
Dan. I've got a lot of things to
Nobody
say.
wants that of anybody. I don't want to hear anybody talking for all 3 hours. If I did, I'd just listen to Colin Cowherd.
Still haven't gotten to his thoughts on air travel today, Dan.
I got my top 5 of things you don't want to get me started on.
I regret
boy.
deeply your last top 5. You had 3 days to work on it. I regret deeply that I will not go to that list without editing it first. I will not. I don't trust you.
All because of Scoot?
I'll check.
Now,
Hold on.
it's
We're
what
good.
I'm going to get this out and open too, because if you have fewer and fewer people here, because Tony's not one of them. Tony's here every day.
Even when he's not wanted here, Tony's here.
Tony likes to work.
Tony likes to be on microphone.
Tony's not afraid of working. Tony likes vacation less than the rest of you.
I'm here a trabajar.
But he says he's here to work. That top 5 list I got with 3 days of prep.
he went on vacation to find God.
That was only a weekend. He put
That
his
was a
phone away.
forest, yeah.
And only God took him away from the show. That top 5, I will not air that without getting to look at it because I don't trust you. I don't trust your judgment. That's okay. We learned the hard way up here.
This is fine.
Are you sure?
It won't get anyone in trouble. I mean,
Well, no, I'm not worried about
We're
trouble.
settling for fine, though?
I'm not worried. No, I'm not
S&A,
worried
baby.
about getting anybody in trouble. I'm worried about number 3 being Scoot is a good guy.
That was a bad dismount, Dan. That's what happened there. I
But
just
no,
got
you
caught up
can't
in the
have
dismount.
3 days to come up with NBA content and a top 5 list. It's 3-day-old draft content. It's got to be better than anything anyone is getting anywhere. It can't be, I think Scoot's going to be good.
Dan, I gave you keep an ear on the Jazz. What happened 25 minutes later? They made a trade for John
I
Collins. Keep
learned
an
that
ear on
Rudy
it.
Right.
Gay was still
Were
in
you
the league.
listening?
Tony,
He
a
is?
word of advice on this. The Scoot thing, done. No more. Let it go. The Jazz was good. Let him look at this top 5. Let him like it,
yeah.
and then do it, and then you'll earn it back. Don't fight this.
Don't forget about Scoot. Or forget about Scoot.
Well, Dan,
No,
do you trust
forget
Billy's
about
judgment
Scoot.
enough? Because Billy's saying it's fine, it's good.
I'm a dog.
Do I trust Billy's judgment on whether or not Tony is going to be supported by Billy
I trust Billy blindly.
so
I mean,
that
I do.
Tony can climb in his career on the show with microphones working every day to a power position that allows him to have the microphone as much as Billy, and Billy
that's
undercuts him at every turn?
I will say this, though.
Do I trust Billy with that? Do I
Listen.
trust Billy with Tony's career and care is what you're asking
Bad
me.
question.
I'm not in charge of his career. That's
I
his
don't trust
problem. This is what I would say to you. I'm in a different seat today, so if Tony makes problems, they become my problems. So I'm not necessarily
Everyone's
trying
problems are your problems.
for today. Yeah,
Yes,
so I'm
right.
not going to be encouraging problems.
I'm not making any problems. I'm just giving you a list that don't get me started on. That's all it is. It's not really a top 5. It's more of the things that don't get me started on.
Okay,
List.
well, I'm not going to get you started on
Good.
it because I want to get
That's what I'm asking
Stugotz'
for.
thoughts on his Jets being on Hard Knocks.
I don't want the Jets on Hard Knocks. I don't want it, Dan. It's like, they're the popular team. They're the in thing. I don't want I don't want the team to be distracted. We have something good going on in New York, and Hard Knocks and all those cameras around. You know what they are? They're distractions. I don't want my players looking into cameras. I want their eye on the prize, and that is the Vince Lombardi trophy. And now you finally have a good team. Finally, we have a good team. Finally, we have an interesting team. I do not need to see what's going on every single week on HBO at Jets training camp. I don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't want the Jets to participate in it. Yet it seems like the Jets are going to be that team because they made the biggest splash move in the offseason, and people want to see how that unfolds. So,
David, did you find the Showtime show to actually be a distraction for on-the-field
It
play
has
and
to
results,
be.
or is
Not
it
to
just an
me.
excuse?
Yeah, it was a great excuse. But no, there's
The players
cameras
hate
everywhere.
it.
They hate it.
they hate it.
Players hate it.
Yes.
Well,
But you have a
some.
33% chance. No,
Some players
they all do.
Really? 'Cause
They would pretend. Some would
They
pretend.
would act it up for the show.
Yeah, because they were on camera.
Yeah, but I want the Jets to focus on being good, not producing a good
There's
television
no correlation.
show.
There's no correlation. The Jets are not going to be good, not because of Hard Knocks. What you're getting, you should be thankful for Hard Knocks. You're getting an excuse when they're not good.
The Jets have been trying to be good forever, and they haven't been good. So they might as well try not to be good and try to play for the camera, and then maybe it'll work out.
They did that by getting a quarterback. They don't need a TV show.
A quarterback who loves the camera.
Yes.
This is maddening to me.
while pretending not to.
Stugotz has worked in entertainment all his life and is actively on his favorite team saying, no, please give me less entertainment, less expectations, less content, less access. Keep me dumb. I don't want to be smarter about my team. I don't want to see more. Just please don't distract Sauce. I mean, it is an asinine take by you.
Thank you.
We'll get to a sports anchor who dropped, was it 46 Taylor Swift references, a local sports anchor. So this is one of these tiny 3 or 4 minute slots on local television that barely exist anymore because of how local news is caving in. 4 or 5 minutes, was it 46 references?
This dude is my hero. Yeah, 46 Taylor Swift songs in about 3.5 minutes. It's unbelievable.
Do you guys think, because I was thinking about this yesterday, because my daughter's too, likes Taylor Swift and says Taylor Swift somehow knows her music. And I was thinking, Taylor Swift, with as big as she is she going to, she's not going to age to the point of Super Saturday status, right? Like she's like Rolling Stone
Super
status.
Saturday.
Yeah, like where you have like an
Super
older,
Saturday,
yeah, like you have an older
old
act that has like a
Paula
small.
Abdul.
You think Taylor Swift is going to have to
No.
grind it out on the hustle?
I don't think that she is. That's what I'm asking. Do you guys think she's going to age more like the Rolling Stones, where she is selling out stadiums or arenas forever? She's not going to get to the point with where she's at that she's like an act after a game.
She'll be Barbara Streisand. She's not going to keep doing tours like this. It's too much. You can't play every night the way she plays for 3 hours plus when you're in your 70s.
No.
So she'll eventually just do a show at a time.
Mick Jagger's still touring. He's still doing it in his 80s, but no, that is the rarity. That is a huge exception.
Not to be the whitest guy in the room as always, but she'll be Carole King. You know, she'll play songs at a piano. She'll
No.
sit down. She'll play ballads. It'll be beautiful, but 3.5 hours for now, Rocky.
She's not going to be Carole King, because you said Carole King and 2/3 of the room said who, and that's not going to be Taylor Swift.
You've never sounded older.
Taylor Swift is popular
my God.
beyond all reason and measure with a generation that's going to still love her 20 and 30 years from now. She will be able to make money however it is that she pleases, and it will not be with the slumming sewage of Super Saturdays.
More money than you can make in your wildest dreams.
Did you go to the Eras concert?
No,
Are you going to?
no.
Why?
Not his style.
Just don't know the music. Don't know. What do you mean, why?
You can't go if you don't know the music. I was told you have to know every word of every song, and then you have to be willing to spend $5,000 the ticket.
It is the hottest ticket in
History.
I think entertainment history. I think it's the hardest in selling out stadiums. This is not. I don't even understand why you just did Super Saturdays. This is in the history of people paying to see things.
You never know how one's career goes,
No,
Dan.
okay,
I mean,
but let me just examine that question.
one
for
day
a
you're
second.
on top, the next day you're doing
yeah,
Super Saturdays.
Okay,
I mean,
I
Didn't
understand,
Diddy
but
do a Super
I
Saturday?
just saw Jeter
No
sitting
way.
next to A-Rod. It happens. It's Jeter. Like, one of the things we didn't mention about all the things that happened over the weekend and A-Rod and Jeter sitting on a set together. A-Rod learned from the queens on how to age, Madonna and J-Lo, how to properly age, how to protect your brand through keeping your face together, smiling maniacally next to A-Rod. He learned next to, what are you looking at me like that
Madonna?
for? Yes, he dated Madonna for,
Oh,
yes.
I thought you meant Madonna's aged gracefully. You
I
mean,
mean, she across decades, she has
he's saying that
aged
A-Rod
very
has
well.
aged better, though.
She
That's what
aged
he's saying.
gracefully for a
Right.
while.
Okay.
I think the interesting thing is like, what is A-Rod's actual brand? You know what I mean? Not to make this another A-Rod segment where you said like he learned how to protect his brand like Madonna, but what is A-Rod's brand? He's just A-Rod.
It is teeth.
Yep.
A lot of teeth.
fraud.
And it's
Oh.
A-Rod. Well, it's that too. Like
Is it?
well, Stugotz, is it?
Fraud?
Billy Corbin. Okay, here. Billy Corbin's documentary Screwball. It's exceptional. I suggest that you check it out. One of the things that A-Rod did while knowing he used steroids is went to a sham fraud meeting with the commissioner and angrily kicked over a briefcase in a meeting room because everyone knew he used steroids and he needed to put on a show to get a few extra games. It was cartoonishly laughable fraud. So yes, fraud in the many ways that you would describe.
It's a heady play, I got to be honest with you. Yeah.
Kicking the briefcase is a heady play.
And
You
then-
got to show
I mean,
somebody you're mad.
Then went on an
Corbin
interview.
will find the fraud in anyone. I mean, he will.
That's true.
What he does.
Put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Will Corbin find the fraud in everyone? But Taylor Swift, in the history of people spending dollars to see things, this is the hardest ticket you will ever see. Impossible to get.
Not only impossible to get, but Ticketmaster now, like after all of the stuff that's happened with the government, I went on to go buy tickets for a different concert. All the taxes have changed. It's telling you that tickets are a tax write-off in certain ways now. Like all because of that Taylor Swift ticket demand. Everything has changed. It's really crazy.
Tickets are not a write-off, Jeremy.
What's it say about dead shows?
Game changer for Stugotz.
It's the happiest he's been the entire time.
Tickets are a write-off.
Since you were about Bob Ross.
It's not right. He's happier about that than I was about the possibility
I'm
of taking
surrounded by
advantage
awful.
of Bob
Yes.
Ross.
It's a different kind of awful this Tuesday than it usually is, but it's the Tuesday theme of Greg Cody in spirit. It's a different kind of awful. Yes, you are trying to out-awful one another, the both of you.
I actually never give Stu thought when I'm saying what I think, and he was definitely not thinking about me.
No,
he was thinking.
You just think alike. That's all.
He was like,
naturally.
"Wait a minute, I've got this now."
I never
It
give thought when I
just
say what I
clicked.
think either. I mean,
He used to not believe what he said because he didn't know the difference. Now he takes Jeremy for tax advice. It's like taking cap advice from a podcast of us that we can figure out the cap. Stu is going to actually make tax decisions based on what Jeremy said.
I know taxes all too well.
Any way that Stugotz can find as well a way to rationalizing that he has gotten something discounted. Stugotz, this is what I've noticed about, for example, the vacation policy. There is really no way to scam it. It's unlimited. But he's got to try and get away. If Stugotz isn't working a grift, he's not happy. Like, he doesn't even need to grift.
life is boring without a grift. I mean,
He's got to run a scam. Let me turn in this receipt over here for something I bought at the vending machine just to say I got away with I got these $7 from the company while I was on vacation because I did a video that seemed like I was under hostage crisis from my room.
Too expensive Super Bowl still, I just remembered.
oh, wow, really?
And Austin.
What? It was 2 years ago.
Those
happened?
birds weren't cheap, man.
Are you like Greg Cody where you just don't want to deal with the hassle of expenses?
I mean, yeah, it's not that I don't want to deal with the hassle. It's that I know when we first get back, like, let me get everything settled, let me unpack, let me do all of that stuff. And then, things don't stop here. One thing leads to another. We're on a treadmill, and then it's like, oh, my God, Austin was 2 years ago. Who's going to pay for those scooters that we used instead of Ubers?
They haven't been expensed yet? Wait a minute.
They've expired then.
The scooters?
No.
Can they expire?
They never
Yes.
expired.
No,
No, it
That's
never
a policy
expires.
that we're starting here.
Well, it hasn't started
If you
yet.
submit
not
your
in writing yet,
expenses
though.
That's
more
right.
than 45 days past the date that you incurred those expenses,
no,
they
that's
are
silly
not
talk.
eligible for reimbursement.
That's silly talk, yeah, no.
Can you imagine trying to do that?
I mean, it just sounds like you're saying a lot of words that they're not really listening to.
Oh, they'll listen.
But it just sounds like the disclaimer at the end of the ukulele ad where they're saying that your penis is going to fall off. Like,
Or contact a doctor
yeah,
if
no,
you
but
have
it's
an
just-
erection
all it is,
lasting
all
4 days.
you are just the I agree button that they hit to make to scroll past all the agate that is contract terms.
You're
Well
a
said.
podcaster.
Well said
Yeah,
by me.
what did you try to say? You're like, how are you going to approve? And like, no, if I want to submit after 45 days, I will. What are you talking about?
I'm not going to have an
I have 2
expense off
Tahoe
with
trips
you.
I got to put in.
He's got an upcoming Tahoe vacation.
Wait, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he
Oh, I
does.
know, yeah.
Oh, because of dead shows, or this is separate?
No, that's work.
Oh, that's
The Tahoe
work.
vacation.
Tahoe is actual vacation?
No,
so
it's
there wouldn't
work.
be expenses.
No.
Oh, Tahoe is work.
Yes, I'm working there.
But so is the dead.
Yeah. You want to come, Tahoe?
I'm not a no, except I have work to do. Someone's got to be here doing shows.
Yeah, that would be me. That's why I can't go on vacation. We keep coming back.
You got to fix that, man.
Not acting.
You're missing out.
Stop it. You're making it worse.
Best I felt in years, Dano.
May I offer you one of my non-used tissues?
How about me and you? Dead Show, San Francisco. That's my next vacation after Boulder, Colorado. Oh, the Gorge. I left out the Gorge in Washington. I'm having a month.
You asked hours ago about wrangling him. The way he gets away with it is that when we record things, it's on Zoom, so he just takes a microphone everywhere he goes. So anytime he pops on, it's a different city, a different state. I have no idea where he is, how he got there, when he's coming back, but he ends up being there. Mm-hmm. So in terms of his recordings, he's always there on time. It's just I don't know where he is.
Right.
It's going to be harder to do that going forward. When there's set schedules, when there's networks involved, and it's going to be harder. And I'm going to try to help you, Stu, try to make you understand when it's best to do the vacations in order to make sure that we're all on the same page.
Okay,
I think
great.
that's important.
All right. How about I do them when I want to do them?
That's perfect. Way to go. All right, we're off to a good start.
Sounds like you guys might have some bad blood.
It doesn't seem like things are improving around here. You just say what you're going to do as a culture changer, and they just laugh in your face.
It's not they. It's Stu.
But empowered by the company. It's not everyone here tolerates. I mean, Billy's life has been turned into upside down chaos. He's got a toddler, and Stugotz is harder to manage, more fatiguing, I got to imagine.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. You also get less help with Stu than you do with your toddler, I imagine.
That's our company trying to help and failing.
Don't answer that, Billy. I'm like a conductor right now. Billy, don't answer that. Stu,
you're more
stop
like an
putting
attorney.
in for vacation.
You're
What
like
do you
an
mean? It's
attorney. What are you
unlimited.
doing? Are you going to get a hold of this or are you not? Is Stugotz going to be here tomorrow or not?
Is he my boss?
He is going to be here tomorrow, and we are going to make some magic tomorrow.
All right. We'll see.
I have expectations. I like when we make magic together.
So do I. I'll let you know if I'll be here for it, though.
I'm asking you nicely.
Might be a Zoom day. Boulder's far.
I think it's better when we're in person.
We'll see.
One of the things I wanted to get to
Come
that
to
I
Boulder.
can't because everyone else is on vacations, I wanted to see Shaky Graves at Red Rocks, where I was told it just simply hailed on people the entire time because you're in a canyon, and those are dangerous.
Yeah.
Did you see pictures of the people?
Yeah,
They had welts.
They got pelted. They got pelted by rocks from the spit from the sky. Yes, it's a horror.
Who are they going to sue? They're going to find someone. Stu, who should they sue?
God.
I'll call him.
Such
They
a
should've
great
said no.
venue, Red Rocks, though. You don't feel those things when you're taking mushrooms.
Put it on
Friends
the poll,
are taking
please, Juju, at LeBatard Show. Can you feel hail hit you in the skull when you are on mushrooms?